Hello everybody, I support the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. And you should too.
Hello everyone, this is Derek Wyatt, lawyer for the people, and I've got some sobering news for all you gun owners out there and supporters of the Second Amendment. Now I'm going to give you a realistic scenario here. Let's say that because of the recent tragedies and mass shootings, that in the very near future there are some very strict gun control laws passed. In fact, a lot of these will lead to confiscation and surrender of your firearms. Now, with these new gun laws, that means you may have to walk into the police station, your local police station, and surrender your firearms. The government says you must surrender your firearms or you're committing a crime. What do you do? Seriously, think about it. What's your contingency plan if this happens? What do you do? Now, before we go any further, I want you guys to realize that I am on your side. I am a lawyer. I am a supporter of the Second Amendment. I am a father of a beautiful 10-month-old baby girl. Her name is Remington. You heard that right. Remington. Remington Elizabeth Wyatt. So, I support you. However, we need to start thinking about this realistically. Last time I went home to Illinois, I went down to Pawnee, Illinois, and I visited a friend of mine, Billy Bubba. And I said, Billy Bubba, what would you do if the government passed a law saying you had to turn in your weapons? And of course, he gave me the standard answer, they could have my weapon when they pried it from my cold, dead hands. I said, okay, I understand that. And he went on further to explain, and he says, you know, Derek, 80 million guns in this country, a lot of gun owners, they had a lot of shit kickers have to go to the doors to, get them guns from us. And I thought, that's pretty insightful. However, they're not going to be going door to door. They're not going to be kicking in doors. Why aren't they going to do that? Because they're smart. And that kind of tactic would be expensive. And it wouldn't be practical. And you'd lose a lot of lives. A lot of logistical problems. You might force a second American Revolution with some type of activity like that, because you would be painting somebody into a corner. What they would likely do is a lot more sinister than that. Hello everyone. Now, I bet you're wondering, Derek, if they're not going to kick in our doors, and take those guns, how are they going to get our guns? How are they going to make us turn them in? Well, as I can tell you, or as I've told you, it's too risky for them to come in and kick in your door. Because think about it, if they're going to kick in your door, they've got to get the local police or the local military to go around and rouse citizens. That's probably not going to go well because those people have neighbors and families and friends, and it's inefficient. Some people are well armed. Some people have a lot of guns in their house. Some people have a lot of ammunition. Some people got a lot of gas masks and food and water and all that kind of stuff. So Derek, what are they going to do? Well, here's what they're going to do. You ever heard of something called the Patriot Act? You ever heard of the Freedom Act? What they're going to do if you don't turn in your guns, because there is a federal database, they do know who owns what gun for the most part. The Patriot Act and the Freedom Act, well, the Freedom Act has now replaced the Patriot Act. What they would do if you don't turn in your guns, they declare you a domestic terrorist. Oh my gosh, a domestic terrorist. Oh my gosh, a domestic terrorist. What is that? Well, here's what it means. Without a prior hearing and without you even being notified, what is the government going to do if you're declared a domestic terrorist? They freeze your bank account. They cancel your credit cards. They shut off all your utilities, your water, your gas, your electric, your cable bill. Then they start hassling your family. And if you got a job, you can't go to work because they're going to be right there at work. The only thing you could do is you could hold up in your house. Because remember, your phone's not going to work anymore. You're not going to be able to go to work. You're not going to be able to take your kids to school, and you're going to have some stockpile of food and water, but that's not really realistic, is it? It's not realistic at all because the government is going to shut off everything that allows you to live. And when your kids are getting hungry, or you're getting hungry, or your wife is crying, you're probably going to turn those guns in. And then, if the shit really hits the fan, and you're able to hold out, you're like a Ruby Ridge, what's going to happen? The same thing that happened at Ruby Ridge. The feds are going to come with a tactical team, and they're going to shoot gas. They're going to set the place on fire. They're going to use nerve agents. They're going to hail you with bullets, and they're going to eventually get you there. And you know what? You're probably not going to walk away alive. So what I want you to realize is this. You're not looking at a couple of shit kickers out there. They're going to knock on your door and go, "Hey, boy, give me all your guns." That's not going to happen. You're not even going to get the luxury of a narco team raiding you. They're just going to declare you a domestic terrorist, take all your money, shut off all your utilities, make it so that you can't go anywhere or do anything until you turn in those guns. And then maybe months after that, if you still haven't, if you're still holding out, then you get raided. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, because I'm a Second Amendment lawyer myself. Unfortunately, that's the reality if the government decides to ban guns. Thank you very much. And as David Hogg would do, stay strong.